Chiefs dangle Baume's testimonial. Akufo-Addo meets Parliament. And finally, experts laud progress on Abidjan Lagos Highway. So there you have it for the Daybreak newspaper. Oyema, good morning.
Good morning, Blair.
I trust you're fine.
I'm okay.
This is okay, dear.
The life is life.
It is not inspiring at all. You want some kinky after the show?
I think so. I think some kinky will do all the magic.
Right. So if you do the National Enquirer.
Well, let's move on to the National Enquirer newspaper. And on the front page, you have Austin Game exalts Mohammed's 24-hour economy, brands it a mouthpiece for job creation. Shewa Sitnemuna Papa. Odikro of Chinyekrum wants to know, is it true that someone in National Security, and one NPP guru paid the rent of NDC's National Youth Wing Secretariat in Jowulu? We also want to know. So whenever the answers come through, please let us know as well. So here are stories, many others also featuring on today's edition of the National Enquirer.
Let's see if you can do the many others. Professor Nana Jane reaffirms faith in God at the Makers House Chapel. 829 road accidents, fatalities recorded in first quarter of 2024. Police MTTD. Duncan Williams warns politicians, Ghanaians are not gentle. All right. So that's for the National Enquirer. Let's do some more papers. Now let's do the Metro Lens. Kaswa again. Assailant killed woman and her 2 children. Others injured. Kaswa again. Kaswa again. The land of Charlie. Nana B exposes NDC's plot to implicate MPP in missing BVRs. Tana North, Gideon Boako gives 50 apprentices 1,000 Ghana cedis each to start businesses. Okay, so that's some 50,000 cedis. Improve voter registration process. Dr. Samankra urges Electoral Commission. Stories on page 3. That's all for the Metro Lens newspaper.
All right, let's do the Ghanaian Times. Don't promote insults, misinformation on platforms. NCC chairperson warns journalists. CDS Africa calls for comprehensive public education on anti-LGBTQ plus bill. 25th anniversary celebration of Ochehene launched. Very interesting. And here are stories. Okay,
why is it very interesting? Very
interesting.
Why?
Why not? Why not? What are you thinking? What I'm thinking? Anyway.
Then I asked you why is it interesting.
Okay. So there's a bottom banner and it says OSP CAGD save 34.2 million Ghana cedis through payroll decks December 2023 April to April 2024. And here are stories on today's edition of the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
Now, away from the Ghanaian Times, let's do the Economic Times newspaper. It says Ghana cedi to rebound. Bank of Ghana likely to hold policy rate. And also, Ghana awaits $200 million from ECOWAS Bank. And so these are the top stories on the front page of the Economic Times newspaper.
Now, so a new Finder newspaper, wholesale of Snit hotels to Brian Champon TUC, probably is lamenting. You can make a difference in 7 months, President tells new ministers and deputies. Ghosts chop 2.8 million Ghana cedis. Upper West Regional House of Chiefs touts Baume's honesty, transparency. The new Finder newspaper.
Right, let's do the graphic business. On today's front page, the biggest story says, 1 year after IMF program, lessons must be learned. Professor Bokpin. Supplement on celebrating World Telecoms Day, unleashing Ghana's fintech and digital economic potential. UBA Africa ready to support continent close infrastructure gap. UBA Africa ready to support continent close infrastructure gap, and yellow currency crowding out other players in fintech space. And so that's all for the graphic business.
Now moving on to the Daily Graphic newspaper. Make a difference. Despite short period, President charges ministers and deputies registering minors to vote dangerous. Child rights. IEA outlines 17 measures to halt cedi depreciation. Damaged undersea internet cables fixed, says the NCA. We don't want to be hearing stories and excuses during elections and internet shutdowns, among other things. No. Now we have assurance that it has been fixed. So we are going to base on this information in our future endeavors.
Right, on to the next paper. Let's do the Inquirer. The Inquirer says Azoka clan split over Baumia quietly appreciates that Baumia is one of us, Zongo boy. OSPCAG, rescue country from over 34 million Ghana cedis lost. Block goes names on controller and accountant general department's payroll. Also, Hure Ochehene is 25 years since ascending of a reigning throne. Since ascending, ascending of a reigning throne, anniversary celebration launched. And finally, ICC 6 arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister and Hamas leader. And there you have it for the Inquirer newspaper.
Now let's move on to the Daily Guide newspaper. Nana meets majority.
They've done all the good newspapers. I'm not saying that the other newspapers are not good.
Nana meets majority minority. 2 Togolese arrested for voter fraud. Ochehene launches 25th anniversary. Extend registration timeline. Nana Kwame Bediako tells EC. And here are stories on today's edition of the Daily Guide newspaper.
Now, from the Daily Guide, what do we have next? Right, so I think the Daily Guide would be our final newspaper, but we have the Insight over here, and so we'll do the Insight newspaper. It says, alleged illegal exportation of gold by Adamus Resources, CSO petitions President, Chief Justice, and Speaker. New Force leader Nana Kwame Bediako calls on EC to extend duration for limited voter registration. SMJ commiserates with Iran over tragic death of President Ibrahim Raisi. And it's this is sad, So the Iranian president was involved in a plane crash.
Did he make it out?
No, he did not. You know how plane crashes are. It's extremely difficult to get survivors, from plane crashes. Very, very difficult.
Yeah.
As NCA celebrates World Telecommunications and Information Society Day, Dr. Joe Anoche reveals Ghana's digital agenda is geared towards nation's digital economy. And so that's all for the Inside newspaper. Please walk to any newspaper stand and grab a copy for just 4 Ghana cedis, or visit the InsideNewsOnline.com to read these and more stories. There's something that I want to engage you on. So yesterday, I went to East Legon. I went for an assignment. I was returning, and I saw something which I've seen a lot of times, except that yesterday what I saw was worse. So I know that when it comes to livestock, we eat them in Ghana, across the world, even in countries where there are laws with regards to animals and all of that, they eat livestock. So when you go to the United Kingdom, when you go to Europe, when you go to the Americas, they eat poultry, they eat beef, they eat goats, they eat all these animals. They do eat them.
Lamb.
Yes. But in our part of the world, and of course we do eat these animals also, but I feel that for the very fact that we know that these are animals and we eat them, we do not have, or we do not attach any scintilla of respect to these animals. In as much as at the end of the day, they are going to be ending up in the pot. We are going to kill them. So I've observed something for a long time, for years, and I feel that it is high time it is addressed. I don't know whether we have animal cruelty laws here in the country, but I've seen animals being tortured, and it hurts me. So how we transport cattle, in this country, especially, I don't know about other regions, but the Greater Accra region, I've seen cattle being transported, and it hurts me that you would have just a small Kia truck.
The Aboboya type.
No, let's say even something bigger than how many cattle?
Oh, the one they call Aboso kind.
Aboso kind, or even sometimes the long ones, and they pack these cattle, these huge cattle into them. And so, because it's a small space and they are big animals, some of them have to turn their necks to their backs. Like it's an eyesore for me. They have to turn their necks to their backs. Some are on top of the others. Imagine the weight. Look at the weight of a cow and another cow being on top of that cow. And simply because they are animals, we do not have any sort of feeling towards them. It's sad. Yeah. So I've seen this a lot of times. I've seen cattle being transported from Tulaku in Ashaiman to other places where cattle is sold. That is the situation. That is how we transport them. Charlie, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. Why don't you get a bigger vehicle?
I think the cattle they transport from the northern part of Ghana, I don't think they go through such cruelty.
Yeah, exactly. So because that's why I've limited it to...
The tracks are very huge and spacious.
So that is why I've limited it to the capital. So you see people transport cattle. Like you're in traffic, you're in a car, and then you see these, Kia trucks, beside you, with cattle in them, and how these cattle have been put in the truck. Charlie, would you be happy with it? You are going to even kill these animals to start with. Absolutely. Why don't you attach a little bit of respect to their...
I agree. I agree to a larger extent. I really do agree. I mean, sometimes you see these things and you're asking yourself, is it about lack of logistics? What is it exactly that's make these cattle owners or those transacting in the business, why they have to subject these animals to such cruelty?
Do you know what makes yesterday's own worse? So already the cattle, they are suffering. Like you've packed them, Charlie twisted their necks, and some of them are even drooling.
Yeah.
Charlie, you know what made it worse? There are people standing on them in the car like that. Standing on the cattle. Like, why? Why are we so heartless?
It's just the culture here and how we rather fear animals than respect them.
Even the ones we fear the dogs and cool. The ones that can kill us, like snakes.
We have been chased. I don't want to say this on television, but I think it's a story. It's a thing of the past.
We fear snakes. I have a phobia of dogs.
I think it's a natural phenomenon that anything you fear, whenever you get control over it, you have to suppress it. And I think that is what is translating to how they treat animals.
Please.
Some people treat. I think animals also deserve respect. Because when you go to certain jurisdictions, there are laws governing how animals should be treated.
Exactly. Please, I'm making a passionate plea. Please.
Is there a veterinary council or veterinary association?
The veterinary here we have in Ghana, they don't attend to livestock. So you wouldn't have your chicken sick and then you take them to the vet. I don't see that happening. So
but has the right to life cover animals as well? Why don't we add? So
I don't know about our animal rights here in Ghana. I don't know about it. If there were, people wouldn't be eating cats. If there was, people wouldn't be eating cats and and
speak to them directly. Stop throwing shade.
And all other my people.
Stop throwing shade.
People will be eating cats and people will be eating dogs. People feel that they have the rights. Man has power over every other thing that there is in this world. I don't mind if people eat cats or dogs. If you want to domesticate these animals and then eat them, I don't mind. My own is that even if you are going to eat them, attach some form of respect. If you want to eat a frog, if you want to eat a lizard, that one it is you want to eat it.
Then why shouldn't be a system where all these, I wouldn't say abnormal, no, please don't get me wrong, out of the norm,
she's still abnormal.
Choice. Out of the norm
unusual
choices we make in our, what do they call it? Meat choices and poultry choices. Maybe it should be sold like any other, normal, like the way they sell chicken, the way they sell beef, all those ones. So we should have all those options.
No, but when you go to some places, dog meat is sold. You go to the market,
like
come
where?
back.
Show me. Show me.
But people up north are watching. When you go to some fra places up north, they sell dog meat. I mean, there's no problem with eating dog meat for me, if that is what you want to eat.
Or maybe
no problem.
Maybe
but
the solution also can be that specific people have the license to, kill certain animals and to sell certain animals.
I feel like it's high time we digest it. I don't know, but I'm going to try my best possible. Let's get, if we have animal laws here in Ghana, let's try and digest it so that we have a more informed position on this subject matter. But please, I'm making a passionate appeal to the I don't know if they have specific names. Those who sell the cattle and co at these, the Zongos and these other places, like when you go to Turaku and all these other parts, please, I beg you. This is a passionate appeal I'm making to you. I don't know. I know that resources are scanty, but imagine you were in the place of that animal, where you are going to be killed, but you'd have to go through that. If I say inhumane crime, it is related to human beings.
Yeah, actually, Lord.
Like it is not nice. You understand? It is not. Charlie, for me, that is a very wicked thing to do. To pack cattle like 10 in a small car. Small Kia truck, you have like 10 of them inside.
I mean, if you, the human being, you were to be in that
space. And yesterday, what I saw, they were even standing on them in addition.
You say you're feeling claustrophobic.
Oh, why? Please. Oh, you are going to kill these animals too. Charlie, these animals, some of them have, not some of them, they have emotions, they have feelings. So
it's not because they have life.
Like they have feelings.
They have
Last
life.
time I watched a video, and I understand why people, these animal rights advocates and people who are vegans and all of that, I understand to a large extent, I understand why they don't eat meat and all of that. Because last time I watched a video where a cattle was about to be killed and it was crying. Oh. It was crying.
I've seen a dog cry before.
It was going to end up on someone else's plate. It was crying. So please, if you are going to even kill the animal, give it some respect. Like, give it.
But the actual abattoir, where they slaughter, the slaughterhouses, they actually give some respect.
Oh yeah. And even when killing them, I think they do it quick so that they do not go through so much pain. You understand? Please, I beg you. I beg you. Mutimi mama re ho sa de aden. And no na me and no ase me te car mu na me hu moyi omo gugu Kia track me bebre na ya komo ase ba kwa chia ne konse na ba kwa ese ba kwa nu so nsuo na ne da se ni se gina ne so aden. Why? Oh, please. Na ka wona nyame nhira enu.
What if?
Yes. But why? Why would you treat animals like that? Animals that you are going to kill, because you are going to kill them, you want to torture them before you kill them. Why? Even people who commit crimes here.
Before they are executed, the pampering they go through. Pampering they go through.
When you go to the US, you are going to eat your last meal. Whatever you want to. If you want to eat a full cow, they'll give it to you.
Yeah.
And the death is quick.
Yeah, very swift.
So they will electrocute you and it's just poof. The shock is, so you just die at once so that you don't have to go through so much pain. Why do people treat animals like that? Please. En fatamo. Cry.
We are sad this
Ah.
Free the animals.
Charlie, people who they say Ghana.
Should we have a solidarity movement for animals?
Why not? Why not? Please.
Animal cruelty.
Me, I eat animals. I eat beef. I eat chicken. I love goat.
Me,
I eat snail.
Oh.
But Charlie, when you are killing them, you want to kill them and give them some this one be respect. Yeah, Charlie, you can't pack animals like that before taking them somewhere to. Charlie, it's not nice. It is not nice. It is bad. I think our time is up.
Our time is up. It's exactly 8 a.m. and the newspaper review segment is up next.